Mr. Axlerod is correct. The downgrade is a Tea Party downgrade, and we, Tea Party members, unlike those in Washington, D.C., accept responsibility for our apathy. The Tea Party people understand that we have remained silent for too long, and it is our silence in the face of outlandish schemes of tax and spend that has led us down this path to insolvency. For decades, I have been reminded that trickle-down economics does not work. I agree, it does not work for prosperity. Quite the opposite. It is a policy of enslavement. The idea of it is counter to liberty and individual rights. When we allow government to steal the fruits of our labor, then filter it through the cloth of congressional kindness, where a portion of it will trickle down to those at the bottom of the economic ladder of the American dream. So, Mr. Axlerod, I take full responsibility for my part in allowing social terrorists like you to browbeat us into a sense of guilt for our efforts to become productive, generous, independent, and free people. We have allowed you and your kind to enslave a nation with your ignorant ideology. Today, we stand firm. We will not allow your rhetoric to fool the people any longer. We will call you out on your ignorance whenever you display it, usually when you speak. Never again will we remain silent as our nation is robbed of its most valuable asset, we the people. We will not allow you or anyone to subvert those rights we have been endowed with by God, our Creator, whom you so desperately want us to reject in favor of the God of state. We will stand firm upon the promise that is written in our founding documents, in plain language that even the liars can comprehend. We are not fooled by your attempts to cast a blanket of doubt upon the truth. We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men are created equal, endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. Governments derive their just authority from the consent of the governed. We the people, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice and ensure domestic tranquility, do establish and ordain the Constitution for the United States of America. You are right to be afraid, Mr. Axlerod. We are a direct threat to your power, and we will not rest until you are held to account for your crimes against we the people. Justice demands it, and we intend to see justice done. Our Constitution is not simply a piece of paper to be admired for the great idea it created. It is, in fact, the very document that created the federal government. If, as Time magazine and others imply, it is irrelevant, then so too is the government that seeks to rise above it. Now, Mr. Axlerod, I have a question for you and your cohorts. Will you accept your share of the blame? Perhaps if you and those like you can accept your part in all of this, we can begin to work towards a solution, a real solution, not one that will rescue the failed system of monetary policy that you have become so fond of. Might I suggest we begin with an honest review of our Constitution, bearing in mind the stated purpose for which it was created.